So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our video of Saturn Retrograde in the sign of Aquarius, which is going to begin from middle of this month in June all the way till October. So, Saturn Retrograde is a very simple thing. See, Saturn, remember, Saturn is a slow-moving planet. Why? Because it limps, right? It limps. That means if you look at Saturn as a human being, Saturn has some issue with the feet. So what house represents the feet for Saturn? The 12th from Saturn will be its feet. Just like our ascendant represents our body, 12th house of our ascendant represents our feet. So when Saturn is retrograde, okay, imagine a planet looking back, right? It's not looking back. This planet is backing up the truck. They're backing up the truck and they're starting to look back, or they're looking at their, their camera. So they're no longer looking forward. The whole attention is towards the back. And what do we also know about Saturn? Saturn represents shoes. Saturn is a shoemaker. So there's some very interesting concept that comes about. See, when there's a saying in India, that you will not learn until you get hit by a shoe, right? जब तक जूते नहीं पड़ेंगे, तब तक कुछ सीखने को नहीं आएगा. That is like a saying in Hindi, right? I'm pretty good in Hindi. It's like yes, thank you, yes, thank you. अरे अपन को अंग्रेजी नहीं आता भाई, right? That's me. So Saturn's going to move backwards. And when it moves backwards, it's going to limp, because now it has to deal with the feet. Saturn's going to be focusing on its feet. And when it focuses on its feet, that means now Saturn has to deal with, working hard, where especially the shoe is going to have to be put on Saturn. Oh, and then also another thing, on June 16th, since many of you have been asking about my Nadi course, Understanding of Nadi, it's coming on June 16th on Magha Vedic Astrology Academy around evening time. All right, so check that out. So for an Aries ascendant, Saturn is going to be in Aquarius in the 11th house. But when Saturn is retrograde, it's going to behave like it's in the 10th house. Now you will have to deal with the shoe of the boss. Now, there's two things. Getting the boot, meaning a person gets fired, laid off. That's not what I'm talking about. Getting the shoe, meaning you are going to have to deal with extra amount of work, extra amount of some other work that was not finished, maybe not even by you, maybe by someone else or general in work. They're going to want you to complete that. So in career, you're going to feel like, oh my God, I'm like getting shoe on top of me from all corners. Your bosses are going to demand more from you. You're going to have to take care of unfinished tasks related to your career. And this is what you're going to have to do. You're going to have to kind of like, drag your feet. You're going to feel like you're dragging your feet. Like work just kind of like becomes slow. Work is going to require more from you and demand more from you. Let's take a look at Taurus ascendant. Saturn is going to be in your 10th house of career, but it's going to behave like it's in the 9th house. So now Saturn has to deal with the management. Saturn is going to have to, your work will take some interruption related to father, guru, learning. You're going to feel like because of the pressure of the work, I have to deal with, I have to get away from it. I have to seek a mentor. I have to seek father, or what also people with Taurus ascendant will see is that one has to take on the responsibility related to the father. While you're working, perhaps father is ill. So now you have to pay attention to what is happening with the father. And then Because ninth house is 12th from the 10th house of your career. Even though you don't want to, you'll have to travel for work. You'll have to go long distances for your work. So that's the retrogression of this Saturn. For Gemini Ascendant, Saturn is going to be in the ninth house. Saturn is going to behave like it's retrograde into the 8th house. So now, a person is going to be, first of all, using that you will see, especially with Gemini Ascendant people, and this is for all the astrologers out there, you're going to see many Gemini Ascendant people seeking astrological advice related to their career and education during this time. The retrograde Saturn is going to be now behaving like it's in the 8th house in Capricorn. Capricorn is career, 8th house is occult, mysticism. So now this Jataka, the Gemini Ascendant individual, is going to seek advice of astrologers. They're going to seek, guidance from hidden sources. And especially also Gemini Ascendant people will have to now deal with taking care of their spouse's family. They're also going to have to deal with some back-end issue related to insurance, inheritance. If you, let's say you are a PhD student, you're in research-based work, you're going to have to now go back and deal with a lot of the missing elements of your research in your workspace because of this. For a Cancer Ascendant individual, Saturn is currently transiting the 8th house. Now Saturn has to deal with the 7th house. There is a saying in Hindi too, okay? Biwi ke joote khane padenge. What it shows is that you're going to have to take on the ignored responsibility of the marriage. You will also see during this time period that Cancer Ascendant people are going to be focusing on helping their spouse out with their career. This is also a great period for especially any Cancer Ascendant people in business to bring in a new product. Not starting a new business, bringing a new product that you are already working in. Because what happens with retrograde Saturn, because it's in the 7th house of other people, public, and it's retrograde, and you bring a new product out during this time, you're going to be seeing customers will keep coming back. Will keep coming back to get that product. And then 7th house is also the establishment of your career. So you're going to see Cancer Ascendant people restarting their image towards the world. Like people, you will see like a lot of actors who are, let's say, were just gone from the public life. Their star were diminishing in public life. Suddenly they reinvent themselves. Suddenly they bring something new where now the public is also, again, looking at them at a high status. But they're going to have to do that in order for their star to come out. But again, especially within the marriage, one has to now work towards dealing with demands and concerns of the spouse. And then for Leo Ascendant people, Saturn is in the 7th house, okay, but it's going to behave like it's in the 6th house. Now, because Saturn is going from 7th to the 6th house, you're going to have to take care of the debts. You're going to have to take care of the debts of the marriage. You're going to be dealing with traveling expenses of the spouse if you're married. One is also going to suddenly feel like that they want to gain some new training in their work. One also has to deal with competition. One is going to have to deal with the stress of competition, stress related to, work rivalries. But also, what is 6th house? 6th house is health, right? So when Saturn comes there retrograde, one begins to focus on their health. Instead of focusing on one's marriage, now the focus turns to their health. And what happens when you start focusing on yourself? You get more work, so you're going to become a workaholic. Of course, one has to deal with now not giving attention within their relationship or marriage. And the other thing is, you yourself will not get the attention from the spouse. 7th house is spouse. But spouse is no longer looking at you straightforward, right? Anytime you're driving forward, you're looking ahead, meaning you're looking 7th from yourself. But now spouse is looking backwards. Spouse is going to be more concerned about their own career, more concerned about travels, okay, wanting to visit places. They may have to travel professionally, so you'll feel like I'm not getting that attention that I need within my marriage. Then for Virgo ascendant people, Saturn is transiting into the 6th house. Being retrograde, you have to now go back and learn new things in your career. You're going to have to deal with a lot of children, subordinates, students related themes. A lot of students will be coming back with some issue. For example, if you're a professor or teacher as a Virgo ascendant, you're going to see that you're going to have to deal with a lot of issues of those students. A lot of emails coming from subordinates. Hey, what happened to this? What happened to that? Can you help me with this? Can you help me with that? Your children will demand more attention while you are trying to focus now on work, and especially focusing on, dealing with large groups, dealing with large, conferences. But the thing is, focus is going to shift back to those particular things related to the 5th house. And especially you are, because it's Capricorn and 5th house, you are going to take some new training related to work during this time period. You're going to attain some kind of, you're going to have to. It's not like you're wanting to. No, you're steering back. You have to be very careful. You're attentive. So Capricorn is profession. And actually the thing is, it's not a bad thing, because if you take on some new course, you take on some new education related to profession, it is refining you. Like they say, again, there's a saying that until you don't get hit by a shoe, you don't learn things. Right? They say until your shoe is worn out by going to school or going to a teacher's place, you don't learn things. So this is the best time. Whenever Saturn goes retrograde, it is the best time to refine things in your career. Remember that. And then for Libra ascendant, Saturn is transiting the 5th house, being retrograde. One is going to have to now rigorously pay attention to the mother, needs of the mother, needs of the home, needs of being the household, fixing things within the house. Okay, taking care of, new things or things that were needing attention, but now they're going to be needing that focus from you. Maybe some fence was supposed to be done in your home and you have been delaying it. Now you're going to have to do it because of the fact you've got, if let's say you have a farm, you've got coyotes coming, going after your chickens, going after your, cattle. And, well, sorry, now that focus and duty comes in. Because again, Capricorn is that duty. And retrograde is always trying to look back and fix something that was missed. This is the retrograde planet will give you the most attention in your life, will require the most attention, because it's like I explained. If you're in a line and something is happening in the back, some commotion, you're looking back. You're like, what's going on? Right? It's something it needs your attention. It's something that is trying to make you focus on something. And then for Scorpio, Saturn is going to be in your 4th house. But then being retrograde is going to be in the 3rd house. One will have to deal with the issues of the neighbor. father-in-law may require your attention now. You will have to leave home against your wishes to deal with work-related issue and travel a lot. And yes, one will also find multiple breaks in travel or some reversed issue in the travel, meaning you were supposed to travel to somewhere, you're getting ready, now they no longer want you to travel. And this is why be careful also when you travel. Pay attention twice. Look at everything before you're booking your ticket. Make sure it's retrograding in the third house, because I have even gone through this myself. When Saturn has retrograded into my third house 2-3 times, you remember these things. Like I used to book tickets for my mom when she used to do business and travel and do these conventions. I booked tickets, and I booked either wrong day, wrong flight. The flight that I booked, suddenly was just canceled. So you be careful of what you're booking when you're booking for travel. During this time period, most definitely your commitment, whatever commitment you must have made to your siblings, to your elder sibling especially also, you're going to have to now fulfill that, or that's going to require some demand. Otherwise, there's going to be some kind of a fallout. At the same time, because Saturn is in the fourth house, it's not going back into Capricorn, but it's retrograde, right? You're going to spend money in your home. Somehow you may buy something new. You're going to renovate your home, renovate your kitchen. Fourth house is naturally where the kitchen is. So you're going to be doing some renovation related to the kitchen. So again, it's not always, oh my God, it's bad. No, it's just some new demand that will be coming into play. For Sagittarius, Saturn is in the third house. Now it's retrograde into the second house. You will deal with many things related to banking. You will also be going towards seeing where the money has been missing. Like even for Cancer Ascendant and Sagittarius Ascendant, you will see matters related to money. Some money that you gave away would be coming back to you. You're going to see that, hey, I was supposed to get this money. I didn't get that money. This person owes me money. I didn't get that money. You're going to go back and deal with those issues of money. For example, a lot of people with Sagittarius Ascendant may get their missing, and look at the omen. I don't know if you can hear my dog drinking water. That means some backed up money will come in. Meaning, you did not get your tax return check. Suddenly now you're getting your tax return check that maybe you missed in some previous year. Maybe your accountant now tells you that, you were supposed to get this money. Did you get this money? You're like, no. Oh, well, I got this money. It's this much. No. You're supposed to get 3 times as that. So now you will resolve that issue of dealing with the money. But also some older person within your family is going to need money. You're going to find out perhaps your uncle, older uncle, some, patriarchy within the family is not doing well. You're going to be helping out with them. Maybe your mother calls you and tells you, they need money. You're going to be giving money within the family. This is, of course, it's also the house of Artha. And so Artha house, and again, this is why I know you guys are always going to be clicking to one thing to another. Anytime Saturn is going into the Artha houses, so that means for Sagittarius, for Virgo, for what is that? Taurus, it's going to be change of job, desire to change a job. A lot of people with this, you will also see they will desire to go back to their company. The second house is money. How's money being generated? Saturn is work. So we can see if, let's say also during this time period, the Maha, especially the Antra and Pratyantra Dasha, is of 5th house, 5th and 10th house. you will desire to go back to another company or go back to the company that you're working with. You're going to desire to deal with the older projects, older way of doing work. And second house, you will also see you're going to buy a lot of broken old items during this time. As a Sagittarius ascendant, you will buy some old furniture, old classical furniture to bring in your home. The only thing you want to make sure is it's not broken. Oh, we can buy it and we'll fix it later. No, you won't be able to fix it. You will try to fix it, you'll make more damage out of it. And usually I always say, whenever you buy any kind of like old furniture that you sit on, that you use, remember that old person's energy, that person's energy is coming in your home. So whenever you get an old furniture, especially because you will do that with Saturn transiting into the second house, is that do sage. Sage the furniture before you bring it in the home. Clear that energy. Sometimes they even say like pour alcohol on the thing, clean it with any kind of like alcohol, like a drinking alcohol, because that cleans away Rahu. And so if you do, and then also if you do, sage, that clears all the vibrational energy of the individual. Then for a Capricorn ascendant themselves, Saturn is coming back into the ascendant. You have to take care of the world now. The responsibility of the world will be upon your shoulder. That's what you'll feel like. This is also the period you're going to seek professional help for your health. You're going to start getting some trainer. Retrograde Saturn is going to be like, okay, let's get a professional trainer for your work, for your body. During this period, a lot of work will be brought into the home. Meaning no matter where you go, the work is going to follow you. That's all this means. So if you're at work, you're coming back home, well, work is coming with you. Because now you're attached, your entire self is now attached with dealing with work 24/7. And of course, whenever Saturn goes into the ascendant or retrogrades into the ascendant, one has to be at the feet of the world, service to the world. Because the world is coming to you. Saturn is karma. And who do we have karma with? We have karma with other people. When it's in the ascendant, you don't have to do anything. You're going to have people coming to you where you are going to feel that responsibility and pressure. Then, for especially Aquarius ascendant, a lot of people who are waiting for their visas to go back to foreign lands. You're going to go back to foreign lands now. You're going to get many opportunities now where, let's say if you're back in India from UK or US, maybe you'll get something in Dubai. Or especially for Aquarius ascendant, you will get opportunity maybe in Australia, especially people who are in India. You'll get opportunity in Australia. If somebody is in US, you're let's say anywhere in the northern side, you're going to get opportunity to work in the southern section, like Texas, Florida, Arizona, Alabama. You're going to move towards a southern place as an opportunity. And then, because Saturn is retrograding for an Aquarius into the 12th house, you will also spend a lot of money related to your professional work. Like a lot of equipments will be purchased. Some machinery may be purchased. So work-related expenses take place because you're trying to now refine your work. You're trying to redo that work. But that work, it happens through expense. A lot of professional investments will be taking place for you. You're going to get some opportunity that you missed to invest money for long term. And then for Pisces ascendant, Saturn is naturally in the 12th house. But now it's going to behave like it's retrograded into the 11th house. A lot of old social circles will be contacting you. A lot of old gatherings will take place. You will reconnect with certain social circles, that professional social circles that you may have ended contact with, lost contact with. Okay. A lot of demand from organizations will be coming to you. So organization is what? It's simply the company that you're working for. They're going to want you back for some work. For example, your old work. Because work is 10th house, right? But the organization that is hiring you is the 11th. The management that hires you is the 9th. So perhaps a lot of old organization that you may have worked for, this is going to be a great opportunity in time to go back and work for an old organization. Your desires that were unfinished, this is the time that certain old desire are going to creep up that, you know what, for example, maybe you wanted to get a watch that you wanted. That was your desire, but just financially and all, and responsibility and just, life happening, you just let go of it. Now suddenly you start thinking about that thing again. Like, oh my God, I wanted that watch that I wished for. Oh, you know what? Maybe I need to go back and get that. And it'll be something mechanical. A desire is going to be very mechanical. Something related to something old, something from the past, something that is no longer used as a modern thing. Like if you look at my own self, you'll never see me wear an Apple Watch. The only time you'll see me wear an Apple Watch is if I need to be away from my phone, but I need my phone or something. But I always love wearing mechanical watches. Mechanical watches actually strengthen your shani. It strengthens your efforts and your time management more than like some digital watch. So that's one of the things, but I just love mechanical watches more. But I'm just giving an example. You're going to be, fulfilling certain desires of something old that is no longer needed in the world, but you want it. Like, people buy retro toys. Some old desire, some old video game, some old game that you used to play, board game. Suddenly you'll buy that. So a lot of the older wishes, and Saturn will always do that, especially when it's in retrograde in this particular manner for Pisces ascendant, which will only happen once every twice in 30 years. Because it'll be always retrograde twice, in one sign. So now you will see, after 30 years, you're going to go for some childhood, desire that you didn't fulfill, you'll fill it now. Okay? So this was, our retrograde Saturn understanding. And remember, my Nadi course is going to be opened up on June 16th on Maga Vedic Astrology Academy. So, check that out. So otherwise, if you're new to my channel, subscribe below. Otherwise, we'll see you next time with our new videos. Bye-bye.